What's up, guys? And hopefully you all had a good you all had a good day so far. Unfortunately, I do have some very sad news to bring your way this afternoon. It was announced. Well, it's been announced today. That the legend, the icon, the Queen, Woodburn, has very sadly passed away at the age of 83. Obviously, she has died. It was affirmed that she died yesterday after a short illness. They've not really specifically said what the stated what the illness was. They just said it was a short illness. It was mentioned that she actually took a break. That she actually put a post up on it was on Instagram a couple of months ago, or a few months ago, to say that she would be um, sort of stepping away from social media due to obviously ill health, and obviously due to this illness that she had at the time, which is believed to be this illness that is attributed to her death. I mean, obviously, I imagine that there's mixed. I've seen pretty mixed reactions to this news that Woodburn has passed away. I've seen a lot of people paying tribute to her on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. Um, I think there's quite. I think this news has obviously left a lot of people quite shocked. I think a lot of people quite stunned by the news that Woodburn has passed away. This is, I mean, you do sometimes see kind of shocking deaths, shocking, that kind of come out of nowhere, and this is one of them. I don't think anyone really actually knew that Woodburn had actually been ill. Obviously, all have been dealing with an illness. We know that she'd stepped away from social media due to that illness, and it's been announced today um, that she sadly died at the age of 83. She sadly died yesterday. To be honest, I've never really had a negative opinion on Woodburn. I know some people probably do. Um, I know some people probably hate Woodburn or can't stand her, but I did like Woodburn. I thought she was quite funny. Funny enough, I was actually I actually went back to watch some of the clips of her on Celebrity Big Brother the other day. I thought she was quite funny in in Celebrity Big Brother. I think, um, you know, and I can imagine that there are some people out there that won't be very quick to share their sympathies following the news that she's passed away. I'm assuming Holly Nolan is definitely one of those people that won't be very quick to pay their respects to Imra Byrne, or to pay her respects to Imra Byrne. Obviously, I know they never really did get along, but you know, um, at the end of the day, I think I join everyone in saying that my thoughts, my condolences, go out to all of his family, her friends, her loved one, and her loved no, like her loved ones. Obviously, what is an incredibly sad and difficult time, and painful time. And I can't quite believe I'm actually saying those words that Himwood Byrne has died. Like, it kind of feels quite surreal to be coming on and doing a video saying that Himwood Byrne has died. Like, to be honest, it doesn't make sense. It's like, of all people, white Himwood Byrne, I mean, that news has just kind of come out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't like anyone was expecting to, be getting expected to see that news this morning that Ingrid Byrne passed away. I certainly didn't expect to be hearing that news. Obviously, I was browsing my phone. I was looking on Facebook, and I see that the post that said that Ingrid Byrne had died. Um, I mean, it just doesn't feel it doesn't feel right to be coming on and doing a video saying that Ingrid Byrne has died. Like, it feels so wrong. you know, I mean, I can't like believe it, I can't really, I can't really, um, take it in, I think, like, I mean, I'm stunned. As I imagine a lot of people are right now, a lot of people have probably been left stunned by this news that she's died. It's very unexpected, very out of the blue. No one obviously was expecting to, see that news this morning that him or Woodburn had passed away. And I don't think I don't think it's wrong to say that him or Woodburn was an icon queen. I was an icon queen, and a legend. Um, and one of the best TV personalities out there. I know that there were probably a lot of people that disliked him or Woodburn, and that's fair enough. But as I said, I never really had a negative opinion on her, or I never really actively disliked him or Woodburn in any particular way. I've always been quite. I wouldn't say that I've ever been one of her biggest fans, but I certainly never disliked him or Woodburn. I never had any. I've never really had any strong opinions on her, or I've never had that strong disliking of Emma Byrne. I've never intensely disliked her, I've never hated her, but I've also never been one of her biggest fans. But I think, I still feel like it's the right thing to kind of come on and, do a little video paying tribute to him and obviously paying my respects to her family and her friends, her loved ones at this time. What is obviously going to be an incredibly painful and difficult time for them. And I can't imagine like how it might, the people that worked with, like Addy, for example, I bet she's, I can't imagine how she's feeling right now. Um, him was just incredible. She was amazing to be, to say the very least. It's like how I can't really understand how anybody could have a negative opinion on him with Burn. It's like she was like it felt like she was one of those people that you couldn't really have a negative opinion on her. It felt like it wasn't possible to have a negative opinion on someone like him with Burn. She was just incredible. Absolutely amazing. And this news has really left me. And this news that's been announced today has really left me speechless, like speechless, like stunned. Hearing this news that Himrod Byrne has sadly died at the age of 83, obviously after a short illness. I'm assuming maybe that the details of the illness won't be revealed. Obviously her family might decide they don't want to make that information public. You know, they don't have to really. They're not under any legality. There's no legality there for them to reveal that information. They're not under any legal obligation to reveal, the details of what that illness was. If they want to keep that information private, then that's up to them. That if that's what they choose to do, then people should respect that. People should respect their decision to keep that information private if that's what they've chosen to do. You know, I think at the end of the day, we don't really need to know that information anyway. We don't. All we need, all we know is that it was an illness, and I think that's all we really need to know. We don't really need to know the full details of what the illness actually was. I don't think anyone really needs to know that information. I don't think information like that really needs to be made public anyway. I think it's like I don't think it's really that important to know that sort of information, but you know, some people probably think it is dead important that we know that information, but I don't think it's that important. To be fair, I think I join as I said I join everyone today in sending my deepest sympathies and my sincerest condolences out to him's family, her friends, her loved ones. Um, and yeah, I still can't really take it in really. I still can't really get my head around it, as I said, it just doesn't feel real to be sitting here doing a video saying that all, of all people, that Woodburn of all people has passed away. That news has just come completely out of nowhere that Woodburn has died. Like, when I first saw that news this morning, like when I saw that on Facebook this morning, I was, big fan of which knows, I was absolutely gobsmacked. I don't really, I'm struggling to sort of process that information at this point. It's like, you know, I can't really believe that, we're talking about him with the fact that Himmelburn has died. Like, it just doesn't feel real. To be talking about Himmelburn and saying that Himmelburn has died. Like, saying those words, it just doesn't feel right. It really doesn't. It feels wrong to be saying those words, to be saying that Himmelburn has died. Like, it doesn't feel right at all to really be saying that, but it's true. We all know it's true. We all know this isn't false information. This isn't clickbait or anything like that. This is 100% true. Kim Woodburn has very sadly died at the age of 83. And she, there's no denying that she will be very sadly missed, by not just her family and her friends, but so many of her fans as well. You know, I feel like there was a real reason like Woodburn was so popular, and it's not hard to see why she was so popular and why she had so many fans. And it's today that we remember her for the Queen, and remember her as the Queen, the icon and absolute legend that she was. Because that's what Himmelberg was. She was a legend, an icon, and a queen. You know, and one of the biggest TV personalities I'd ever seen. There will never ever be another Himmelberg. There'll never be anyone quite like her. There'll never. She was a one-off. There'll never be anyone that was quite as good as Himmelberg. There'll never be anyone that was as legendary or as iconic as Himmelberg was. She will never be forgotten. And may she rest in peace. So Himmelberg, sleep well. Rest easy, him. Good night. Good night and God bless. Sweet dreams. Fly high. And my support, my condolences go out to her family, sending lots of big hugs to them, to them today. Yeah, goodbye, Himmelberg. Um, very sad, news to have to, give you guys this afternoon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. For like, I want to give you and obviously share that news with you guys this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll see you for another one soon. Bye bye.